Hello everyone! The Burning Legion has invaded Azeroth once again, and Shamans, they're able to pick up 3 different artifacts to empower them in this war. For the Elemental Shaman, it's going to be the Fist of RaDen, and the Gladiator Rhaegar, Hero of the Storm, he knows where we can find this weapon of great power. After the Pandaren campaign, the weapons of the Storm God RaDen, they were discovered beneath the Throne of Thunder. None have been able to wield them, so great is their power, so the weapons, they were placed in the care of Swen, the White Tiger. He will only give it to those who've proven themselves worthy. So let's fly to Pandaria and show the August Celestial what we got.
Come with me. We will fly straight to Pandaria.
We don't immediately get to fight. First we send out to discover the history behind this weapon. Pieces of the Codex of RaDen, they're scattered amongst the Gulai halls in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. The halls have been haunted since the end of Hellscream's Pandaren campaign, so not only do we pick up the pieces of the history, we also cleanse the halls of the spirits.
Few mortals know the history of High Keeper Ra, his mastery over the elemental planes, and his relation to the Mogu Empire. If you seek to wield the weapons of a Stormlord, venture within and learn of his deeds and his unmaking.
It is known that the Titan Aman'Thul, High Father and leader of the Pantheon, he crafted the Fist of RaDen. How he did so is another question. According to one legend, Aman'Thul called on mysterious celestial beings to forge an instrument that would hold sway over the power of storms. These creatures reached into Azeroth's sky and took a single bolt of lightning, which they then shaped with their hands as if it were mere clay. When the craftsmen had finished their work, Aman'Thul encased the captured lightning in stone and branded the rock with Titan runes of containment. The lightning-infused weapon was gifted to Ra, one of the legendary Titan forged. These stone and iron skin giants, they were created by the Titans to liberate Azeroth from the Old Gods. The Old Gods in turn were immensely powerful and their minions were beyond count. But never for a moment did Ra and his allies hesitate. Under the guidance of Aman'Thul and the other Titans, the noble giants defeated the Old Gods and shackled them in prisons buried deep under the earth. Ra accomplished many feats during this war. He wielded the lightning with lethal accuracy of a blade, carving through the Old God servants and reducing them to cinders. There was only one enemy who matched Ra's command over the storms, the cunning enslaved elemental lord known as Al'Akir. Master Ra and his brethren pursued the Wind Lord to a mountain so high that it scraped the belly of the heavens. All the while, Al'Akir boasted of his coming victory, but his words were as empty as air. True, he was great and powerful, and he could command the storms, but he did not breathe thunder and speak lightning as Master Ra did. He did not wield the fist that breaks the sky itself. Master Ra and his kin turned Al'Akir's own tempest against him until the Windlord faltered. To seal Al'Akir's demise, Master Ra slammed his fist into the mountaintop. The heavens split wide open, and all the fire and fury they contained, they crashed down atop the Windlord's head.
In ages long past, before the era of the mortal races, High Keeper Ra reigned over southern Kalimdor. The Titan Aman'Thul bestowed upon the High Keeper a fist of light, a claw forged in the heavens that spoke the language of storms and placed the power of lightning within Ra's clenched fist.
The Elemental Lords were enslaved. They were forced to serve as the Old Gods' greatest lieutenants, and the Titan Forge had defeated them all. The victory was momentous, but it also presented a unique challenge. The spirits of the Elemental Lords, they're bound to Azeroth, and if the Titan Forge simply destroyed them, they would eventually manifest on the world once again. To prevent this, High Keeper Ra decided to follow Sarger's example with the demons, and instead imprisoned the destructive beings. He worked alongside the Titan Forge sorceress Helya to create a pocket dimension that would be known as the Elemental Plane. It included 4 domains, represented the 4 elements: fire, air, earth, and water. Into this prison realm, Ra and Helya banished the Elemental Lords and almost all of their servants. They then crafted a shield, the High Keeper's Ward, to act as a key to the Elemental Plane. It thrummed with the energies of the 4 elements, which Ra could call upon whenever he desired.
Together with the Titan Forge sorceress Helya, High Keeper Ra created 4 elemental realms in which to imprison the wayward elemental lords. He embedded the key to these realms into his shield, the High Keeper's Ward. Ra walked among the elemental planes as both their jailer and master.
After the old gods were defeated, Ra and his allies created new kinds of Titan forts to protect and reshape Azeroth. Among them were the mighty stone-skinned Mogu. Led by Ra, they journeyed to the southern reaches of the world and they began their long guardianship. Aman'Thul and his fellow Titans, they closely watched these events unfold. Confident that Azeroth was safe in the hands of their servants, they eventually departed the world. On a stormy day, Ra and his Mogu followers, they ascended a colossal mountain to see the Titans off. The legends say that the High Keeper slammed his weapon against his shield, and the elements answered to his will. The rain ceased and the clouds parted. The mountain at their feet rose higher, and lightning and fire illuminated the sky so that Ra and his followers, they could better glimpse the Titans. Lastly, the wind howled a sorrowful farewell.
When it came time to war against the Black Empire, High Keeper Ra created an army of stone to do his bidding. These creatures were called the Mogu, and they called their god RaDen, or Master Ra. The Mogu proved to be RaDen's undoing. Many ages later, corrupted by the curse of flesh, and led by Lei-Shen, the Thunder King, the High Keeper was overthrown.
Many ages after the Titans left Azeroth, a strange affliction called the Curse of Flesh, it took hold amongst the Mogu. It weakened their stone forms and transformed them into creatures of flesh and blood and made them more vulnerable to the old god's corruption. The Mogu eventually fragmented into warring clans. For years upon years they fought each other for control of Azeroth's sovereign lands. From this crucible of violence, one Mogu emerged and forged his people into an empire. This Mogu, his name was Lei-Shen, the Thunder King, and his strength was without equal. He acquired this power by taking it from RaDen. As time passed, the Titan Sargeras had turned against the rest of the Pantheon. He formed his Burning Legion, and he even tried to strike the other Titans down. He nearly succeeded in this mission, but Norgannon, he used his powers to protect their spirits, and he launched them into the Great Dark, eventually returning to Azeroth and entering the Titan Keepers. Ra felt the spirit of Aman'Thul enter his body, and he realized that something terrible had happened, that the Pantheon had fallen, yet he didn't want to believe it. Using his magic, he extracted the remaining part of Aman'Thul's lingering power, and he placed it within a mountain vault near what would be known as the Veil of Eternal Blossoms. He hoped to preserve that small piece of what was left of his creator, while Ra himself spent his time in the catacombs beneath the land, meditating on what he had learned. Eventually, Lei-Shen the Thunder King, he went searching for their silent creator, but he did not like what he found. The knowledge of his fallen creators, it had broken RaDen, and he had simply given up. Lei-Shen decided that if their master Ra had no intention on going on with the Titan's purpose, then he would do it himself in his very own way. Without warning, Lei-Shen struck out and he stunned RaDen. He bound the mighty being in enchanted iron bands, and he stole not only RaDen's incredible power, he also took the contained power of Aman'Thul. But what of the creature's fabled artifacts, the Fist of RaDen and the High Keeper's Ward? Surely Lei-Shen would have taken them as well, but there's very little mention of the Thunder King actually using them. For all his might, Lei-Shen could not harness the energies of the Fist of RaDen and the High Keeper's Ward. His inability to do so, it infuriated him. After all, Lei-Shen had conquered the Mogu and forged them into an empire. He had defeated Ra himself. How could two artifacts defy his will? But defy him they did. The shield and the fist weapon were simply too much, even for the Thunder King to control. Every time that he tried to use the artifacts, elemental energies lashed out at Lei-Shen and they overwhelmed him. Despite these repeated failures, Lei-Shen did not give up. One way or another, he would harness the power of these ancient weapons. The Fist of RaDen and the High Keeper's Ward, they were eventually gifted to Forge Master Deng. The Thunder King ordered him to unlock the artifact's secrets, but he also warned the artisan not to harness that power for himself, or he would suffer grave consequences. Deng promised Lei-Shen that he would follow his command, but he secretly plotted to disobey his master. The blacksmith reasoned that if he could find a way to use the weapon in the shield, something that the Thunder King had been unable to do so, he could take control over the Mogu Empire himself. While Deng was tampering with the Fist of RaDen, a bolt of lightning tore down from the sky and slammed into him. The artifact absorbed most of the energy, which saved the blacksmith's life, but Deng did not escape unharmed. The lightning had left him forever disfigured. Now, after much experimentation, Deng found a purpose for the Fist of RaDen and the High Keeper's Ward. He used the 2 artifacts to power an immense engine known as the Thunder Forge. This machine, it turned night and day, creating armaments of exceptional quality for the Mogu military. Lei-Shen was very pleased by the work, and he ordered Deng to personally craft him weapons and armor that would put all others to shame. The blacksmith toiled over the Thunder Forge to satisfy his master. Deng's labor gave rise to what would be his 3 greatest creations: a massive spear, a battle axe, and a mighty helm. As for all things, time passed on, and Deng and Lei-Shen eventually died. The Mogu Empire would crumble, seasons passed, and the world changed.
But seasons change, and tyrants die. His fury spent in times gone by. The thunder slept beneath Kunlai.
A race known as the Pandaren came to power in the lands once lorded over by the Mogu. The new rulers governed with wisdom and benevolence, unlike Lei-Shen and his brutal kin. Under the Pandaren, an era of relative peace and prosperity settled over the region. Thousands of years after the fall of the Mogu Empire, a group of Pandaren guardians called the Shado-Pan, they discovered the artifacts that had powered the Thunder Forge. These explorers were led by Master Wen Snowdrift, who was unaware of the dangerous energy stored in the items that they had found. Snowdrift took up the Fist of RaDen, and he was immediately struck by a spear of lightning that seared his flesh and scarred his body. Though he was injured, Master Snowdrift did survive his encounter with the weapon. He and the other Shado-Pan, they feared that the weapons and its counterpart shield, that they could do grave harm to the world if they fell into the wrong hands. To prevent this from happening, they took the artifacts to Swen the White Tiger. Wise Swen agreed with the Shado-Pan's assessments of the weapon and the shield. He secured them within his lair, the Temple of the White Tiger, where they would be safe. Yet Swen did not plan to keep them there forever. He knew the history of the artifacts. Though the Mogu had used them for evil, the Titan Aman'Thul had originally created them for good. Swen believed that it was only a matter of time before a mortal would arrive who was fit to wield the weapon and the shield for their intended purpose.
Shaman, the Thunder King took up the weapons of RaDen, but he could not wield them. Lei-Shen could match the High Keeper's storm and fury, but not his mastery over the elements themselves. Perhaps you have that power. Your companion waits for you. Return to me at my temple. We shall see if you can succeed where the Thunder King failed.
So far, all those that tried to pick up the weapon ended up injured or disfigured. I'm certain that we'll do better.
This way, friend. I will coach you through the trials as best I can.
Now that we're familiar with the history of the weapon, it's time to prove our worth, our strength and mastery of the elements in combat.
Do you seek the weapons of the Storm God? Step forward, Shaman.
Storm Stout! You seek the weapons of the storm as well?
Test
I do.
your might.
Storm, earth, fire. That's kind of my thing.
Many seek the artifacts of the Keeper of Storms. None have passed the trials. Come and be judged.
You're in good hands, friend. Did I mention I trained King Rin for the arena?
You mean enslave an already fully trained human king? Yeah, I remember that moment.
Who challenges me? The weapons of the storm belong to my clan by rights!
The first trial is a test of strength. Only one of you may pass. Speak with me to begin. Remember,
I have bested the Kraken.
comes in many
I
forms.
have slain giants. You are not. This Vrykul is all talk. Use his strength against him.
Incredible form. A fighter in perfect harmony with the elements.
You've almost got this, champion! I yield. This isn't over, Shaman. Someday we will meet on a true field of battle.
The Shaman has triumphed. The first trial is complete. A true hero never fights alone. The next trial is a test of teamwork. You must choose a partner.
I will be the second for my champion. Who will we fight?
I believe I am next.
Storm Stout? Ha! I've been waiting for a chance to get you into the arena. Take you down a peg or two.
Is that so? We shall see who the real hero of the storm is around here. But first, I need a partner.
ready for adventure.
Oh no, Lily. I do not think...
This is gonna be great!
Remember, only through teamwork will you triumph. 3, 2, 1, fight.
Ignore your pride. Take out the Pandaren girl first.
Let's roll. You are fast, Orc, but not fast enough.
You've bitten off more than you can chew, Pandaren. And that's a lot.
Let's roll.
These guys don't play nice.
You have bested me.
Congratulations, hero. The second challenge is complete. You have proven your worth, champion. You are ready for the final trial, which none have passed. The tools of the Keeper of Storms are so powerful, even the Thunder King himself dared not wield them. The Fist of RaDen is your final challenge. If you can wield it and live, the weapon is yours to command.
I believe in you, Shaman.
I'll be honest, those things scare me.
No! Watch it!
Focus, champion.
Maybe we should do this outdoors.
Stay focused, champion. You were born to command these elements. You can do this.
Something is wrong. Someone is here.
The Legion is attacking.
Leave the mortals alive. We must find the weapons of the so-called Storm God.
As if gaining control over the weapon isn't hard enough, the Legion also decides that this is the perfect time to attack. Lord Kravos, a demon that we saw before in the Broken Isles, he has come to claim our weapons, but we quickly set our allies free and we show them who the true master of the elements is.
Storm, earth, and fire, heed my call.
You have... Let's roll.
I will feast on your soul after my triumph here.
Phew! That feels much better. Let me at him!
My master will possess the power of the storm!
Champion, you saved us.
The elements walk in harmony with this one. I've not seen a better shaman since I fought alongside Thrall himself.
Shaman, no further trials are required. The weapons of the Keeper of Storms have found their new master. Go forth, champion of the Earthen Ring, with my blessing. Azeroth is under siege, and heroes like you must rise to the challenge.
And rise to the challenge we shall. With the Fist of RaDen and the High Keeper's Ward in our possession, we'll venture into the Broken Isles and take the battle to the Legion. However, that's a story for another day. So for now, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Subscribe if you like my videos, leave a like if you enjoyed this one, and until next time, guys, see ya!